'cause I'm in the stars tonight. So watch me bring the fire, set the night light. Shoes on, get up in the morning, cup of milk, let's rock and roll. Kink out, kick the drum, rolling on like a rolling stone. Sing song when I'm walking home, jump up to the top of the brown. Ding dong, call me on my phone, nice tea and I'll get my ping pong.
Hello everyone. Today again we have with us Mr. Michael Dutta, Head of the Department of Geography of St. Paul's School, Darjeeling. He is also the moderator, as you know, and the question setter, and also the syllabus setter for the ISC. So today we have with us Mr. Michael Dutta, who will help all of you how to prepare for the ICC exam. When the ICC exam is just knocking at your door with just a month, what should be the way to prepare, and where you have to focus much more on all the chapters and the map that we'll discuss with sir today. Welcome sir to THINKONOMICS-Study with Navru. So just with the exam just being 1 month left. So in the topo, as we have discussed, topo is vast. We have discussed in a very nice way in our last video. So in topo, sir, if I say to you, what are the 5-6 things where the boys cannot omit, where they have to give more importance as compared to the others?
Okay. See, in topo, first thing is the 4-figure gate difference. You can expect 1 to 2 questions on 4-figure grid difference. And 4-figure grid difference knowledge is very important because now the council is locating the points with the help of 4-figure grid difference.
Okay, sir.
Second is identification of features, that is the conventional signs. Now the council has introduced the latest map, which is more revised map of what they used to do earlier.
Okay.
Now the conventional signs have changed from what it used to be earlier.
All right.
Okay, earlier for post office they used to write PO. Now they don't write PO, they have a symbol.
Okay.
For police station they used to write PS.
Okay.
Now it's a box with blue and red color.
Wow.
So these little changes the students will have to make a note of. Then in drainage pattern, the council has prescribed in the reduced syllabus that only 3 types of drainage, that is dendritic, trellis and radial pattern. These 3 will be asked to identify on the map. Okay. So the students have to be a little careful about the bank of a river, the right bank, left bank. So these little things have been incorporated this year. So we can expect some questions on this drainage pattern.
All right.
And the banks of the river. Another important thing which the council always does is to identify the natural features and man-made features in a particular grid square.
Okay.
Okay, they will give you a slightly complicated grid square, and within that grid square, they will ask you to find 2 man-made features.
Okay.
And 2 natural features. So if the student has the idea of what is man-made and what are natural features and how are they represented in a topo map. See, again, the conventional signs become very important. Sometimes the boys, they see a red line and they say, okay, this is a cart track. And everywhere it's yellow and they forget to see what is yellow. They think that it is a part of the map. Yes, it is a part of the map, but it is representing some feature. And yellow on the topo map means it is agriculture.
Okay.
Which itself is a man-made feature. But boys tend to omit that part. Okay. So you have to be a little technically observant, and you must have the ability to relate what you see and what they actually mean. Because as I told you, geography is a cause and effect relationship. For everything that is there, it has to be a number of factors which has contributed towards that point being there. If there is a temple, then you can't say the dominant population is Muslim.
True.
Okay, see, these are understood.
Yes.
So this sort of cause and effect, and if there is a, say, maqbara, then it means, okay, there's a mixed population. There's a temple also, there is a Islam maqbara also. So you will have to indirectly draw inferences.
Okay.
Sometimes the council will ask you a comment on the nature of the climate. So from the topo map, how will I know what is the climate? Okay, but somewhere in the map you will see there is written scrub, open scrub.
Okay.
Scrub. Scrub and open scrubs are found in areas where the rainfall is less than 75 centimeters.
Okay.
Annual average rainfall is less than 75 centimeters. So immediately you will have to conclude that since the rainfall, it is the vegetation is scrub, it means the climate is dry climate with very less rainfall. So this sort of correlation you will have to draw. But I know it is very difficult for average student to draw this. But this is what the subject is all about. As I told you, there are two aspects. One is the physical and the natural aspect. Another is the human aspect.
True.
And don't forget, boys, whatever drama of survival human play on the earth's surface, whatever drama he plays on the earth's surface, everything is his interaction with the immediate environment.
Okay.
If you go to Bangladesh, you will find their house is made on platform. Bamboo, house is on top. Why? Because during the monsoons, there is waterlogging and flooding.
Okay.
So if they make it on a bamboo slit, they are above the flood level. If you go to northeast, again you will see there are tree house. Why? Because of the dense undergrowth, there are far too many dangerous insects and reptiles. So to keep them safe, they make it on top. Okay. So these sort of human drama which man plays when he lives in an environment is all because of his own survival. So he has to interact. Okay? So man cannot stay away from his immediate environment. But also remember, man is the only creature who can modify the environment for his requirement.
Yes.
Okay? He can modify the environment for his requirement. I decide to open a library, I need a table. Table doesn't grow on tree. I cut this tree and given it this shape.
True.
I modified this product of nature to suit my convenience. Okay. So in doing so, there are many positive aspects, positive impact of man, and there are many negative impact of man on environment. That is what is the basic concept of studying geography. How much is not too much? Okay, how much of our interaction with nature is not too much? Today we speak about global warming, everything. Okay, this is the outcome of what we have done. 0.03% is carbon, perfectly balanced environment, atmosphere. Okay, a slight change, 0.05. Sea level is rising, coastal areas are going underwater, ocean Arctic ice is melting, there is a vegetation transformation, mosquitoes are found in a cold place like Darjeeling now. We get flies now in Darjeeling, which we never saw 8 to 9 years back. There were no flies in Darjeeling. But now we see house flies, which itself is an indication that the temperature is rising. Okay, there are mosquitoes now, jungle mosquitoes. So we have to be very, very careful, very, very judgmental in what we do. And what we study now is nothing but preparing ourselves for our own existence. So, never eliminate the human aspect of geography from the physical aspect, natural aspect. Both has to go together, and your syllabus is designed in such a way where you have both. Okay, subject like topics like waste, topics like minerals, topics like industries are all man-made. Transport are all man-made side.
Yes, yes.
Topic like soil, topic like agriculture, topic like vegetation, climate, these are natural. Okay, they both affect each other. So when you study geography, keep in mind that I cannot study any chapter in isolation. I have to take the whole. Okay, this is what is the basic requirement of the subject. If you think that I will study only this topic, there are many elements which you will be losing on. Okay, try to link the chapters. If I ask you a question, why is rice grown in the Gangetic Plain and tea is grown in the foothills? I am directly hitting you on soil.
Yes.
Tea hates water on soil. Okay? But rice loves water in soil. So what type of soil holds water? See, it's a question on agriculture, but your reasoning and your answer depends on the chapter, your knowledge on soil.
Yes.
So in this way, see, the council sometimes the question plays with your ability to draw an analytical conclusion about the cause and effect relationship.
True.
Man is growing rice because of this. Man is growing tea here because of this characteristics of the soil. So you have to be a little more adaptable to different chapters and try to incorporate it into one. You still have, for 4 months, it's say if your exam starts in May, okay, you still have some time. Now try to look at the subjects with your existing knowledge from this angle. You will benefit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So, just coming now to the rapid fire. Suppose, for example, the chapter transport. If you can say this, as you said, we have to study boys and girls have to study each and everything. At least 3 or 4 topics which, if they study, more chances are there that the questions will come from your experience, where they must have to study now in the last moment, with just a month left for the examination.
See, transport itself is a very vast topic.
Yeah.
But as I told you, boys and girls, this is your Bible. And this says you will have to study only advantages and disadvantages of different mode of transport. You don't have to go into any other thing. But while doing so, just go to the introductory part about how transport helps in the development of an area, how transport helps in the growth of an economy. See, these are all topic which goes with this chapter. This is the elementary knowledge which you must have. Then they may ask you about so when you are doing roads, they may ask you different types of roads. And here comes in the two concept of golden quadrilateral.
All right.
Which is not mentioned, but when you do roads, you have to know that golden quadrilateral. It is nothing but a garland road system which connects the 4 metropolitan cities for better connectivity. Then you have the east-west and north-south corridors. You will have to know the terminals of each corridor. If one starts from Silchar in east, in the west where it goes. Okay? If one starts from north, Srinagar, where it ends in south. So these are the little knowledge, factual knowledge, which you must obtain while doing your preparation. Some information in geography in your ICSE is very factual. Okay, largest mine in coal mine in India? Jharia. Oldest, what you call Raniganj. Oldest oil field, Digboi. See, these are factual questions. Okay.
This can be important for the MCQs also.
Yes, it can be important for MCQs also. Okay. See, now MCQ, it depends how they will ask. But the council has been very honest in asking you direct question. For Digboi, it can be the oldest oil field, or they may ask the easternmost oil field of India. Okay, they may ask like this. Instead of asking capital of Maharashtra, they may ask the commercial capital of India. But council hasn't been doing that. But I think the students should be mentally prepared for this type of questions also, because the subject is going through a phase of transition. Because this NEP coming in, the council is also trying to frame itself into the national framework to fit in somewhere. Okay, otherwise the ICSE and ISC students will be losing out a lot. So they want to tune themselves to this national framework, and the student must be preparing themselves for any type of question. That is very important.
So coming to the waste management, where do you think the boys and the girls, they have to give a little bit more emphasis?
See, this waste management, normally when it comes to geography, the boys and girls, they just overlook this chapter because they do it either in physics or chemistry. The same thing.
Yeah.
But they should realize that the approach is not same. Because every subject has its own philosophy, own way of looking at a problem. So your approach must be more geographical in nature rather than borrowing knowledge from chemistry or physics or biology and applying it in geography. Okay, that is not correct. You must have your geographical approach. For that, you study waste from a geographical point of view and geographical perspective. That is very important. That is what the boys and girls, they don't do.
All right, sir.
They say that, no sir, this we have done in chemistry. But out there you have a very chemistry approach. But your question now, you are answering a geography answer.
Yes.
Your answer must be more or less geographical in approach. Okay.
So,
Waste is a very good chapter and it's a very scoring chapter, because the chapters in your textbook you will see is only hardly 2 to 3 pages. Okay, but the boys have been neglecting, girls have been neglecting because they feel that we are doing this in chemistry, so why to study here? Whatever knowledge we have there, we can apply it here. That is not wrong. But when you answer question in geography, as I again emphasize, your answer must be geographical in nature. English has no role to play in your geography answer. Your approach must be geographical. The concept, the keywords, try to use them wherever they are applicable. Because the examiner looks for the keywords. He doesn't look at your sentence, what you have written. Okay?
so coming to climate, which are the topics? One could definitely it comes, the new vehicles comes, I think, the range of temperatures, the range of the average rainfall. This is one thing. And any other things on which...
in climate, in which?
Climate, in the chapter climate.
Okay. See, what happens is, first is, you will have to know the factors that affect the climate of India. Now, there are two set of factors. One factor operates inside the country. Okay. Like say latitude. India extends from 8 degree 4 minutes to 37 degree 6 minutes north latitude. So this is within the country. The mountain ranges is inside the country. The mountain ranges play a very, very important role in the distribution of rainfall and temperature in India. Can you imagine the climate of India in the absence of Himalayas? India would be a desert. So these are internal factors. Then there are external factors, such as the monsoon wind, such as the western disturbance which comes from the Mediterranean Sea, such as the jet streams, such as the El Nino effect. So these are factors which operate outside India. Okay, the student must be able to distinguish this factor. If they distinguish, then they know exactly what to answer when a question is asked during the reasoning part. Okay, in the reasoning section. Now, this is what about the factors. Second is they will ask a question on climatic data.
All right.
Okay. Now, climatic data in India can be classified into two parts. One is the monsoon data, another one is the winter data, winter rain data. In monsoon, you will see the rainfall suddenly jumps up from June till September.
Okay.
Okay. And if the station is slightly in the western part of the Gangetic Plain, then that jump of rainfall begins by the beginning of July, because it takes time for the wind to reach there.
Okay.
Okay. But the rainfall will be quite high between June and September. The moment you see there is a high rainfall between June and September, you must understand that this is the summer season, summer monsoon data.
Okay.
Another data you see, this is same, rainfall is same throughout, but from October rainfall is shooting slightly. Okay, and it's going November, and again it's slowly coming down. It means this is the season of retreating monsoon.
Okay.
And this is the season when the rainfall occurs only on the eastern coast of India.
All right.
Not on the western coast. Okay.
All right.
So if I ask you that you are the director of cricket board, now Australia wants to play a cricket match in India in the month of November, will you suggest him to play this match in Cuttack, in Odisha or Chennai? If you have this geographical knowledge, you will say, no, sir, this is a time when this area receives rainfall.
True.
I will rather suggest you play it in Mumbai.
All right.
Or in Bengaluru, which is on the west coast where there is no rain.
Yeah.
So you see, this little knowledge you gain in the class may help you take big decisions in the near future.
Yeah, true. That's very.
Okay.
I think boys, you are very much stressed, boys and girls. Okay, just being 1 month left for the preparation. But see, the fact, sir has said, no, this we have observed few months back when India went to Australia to play the T20s, and most of their matches have been affected because of the rainfall. They could have taken the suggestions from our respected sir, Mr. Michael Dutta. Then we could have watched the full T20 matches. Jokes apart, but this is a very important fact which sir says, by seeing the rainfall from the month of June to the September, if you see,
monsoon,
then it is a summer monsoon.
Yeah.
But if the data are near about the same and suddenly jump in the month of November, then it is a eastern side.
Yes.
Yes, boys, very important, very important.
That is the winter monsoon,
Yes,
northeast monsoon.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are the little things you have to understand. Then one more thing from the table they ask you is rainfall during the retreating monsoon season. See, they will not ask you directly. They will ask you what is the total amount of rainfall received during the retreating monsoon season. See, here the student must have an idea which are the months when retreating monsoon is experienced in India. So that is only October and November. So you look at the table, October is how much? Oh, 40. November is how much? 60. So the total rainfall is 100 centimeter. If they ask you the rainfall in the rainy season, then June to September. Sometimes they ask you about the total rainfall. Just add it.
All right.
Just add all the rainfall. Okay? Just add. Sometimes they haven't asked, but you must be prepared. If they ask you the mean annual rainfall, it means you add all and then divide it by 12. If they ask you the mean annual rainfall, okay? So you have to be very, very observant about what is asked in the question. Sometimes in the table they ask you the range of temperature.
Yes, yes.
Range of temperature is nothing but the difference between the maximum temperature and the minimum temperature.
Yes.
And based on this, they will ask you the location.
True.
So if the place is near the coast, the difference will be, say, less than 8 degrees centigrade.
Okay.
If it is more, then the place is slightly away from the coast.
All right.
Delhi summer temperature, Rajasthan, Jaipur summer temperature 52. winter temperature 3 degrees. See the range. 49 degrees is the range. Mumbai, summer 28 degree. Winter, say 23 degree. Range is 5 degree. So it's near the coast. So the effect of the closeness to the water body keeps the temperature moderate.
True.
But if you are away from the coast, then you have a very extreme temperature.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's very important thing. See the students how Sarah has explained that by seeing the difference of the temperature, you can make it out that if the city or the town is near the coast or it is far away from the coast. Giving the example, Sarah has given the example of Jaipur, and Sarah has also given the example of maybe Mumbai. In Mumbai, the difference of temperature is very less because it is very near the coastal area, whereas in case of Jaipur, it is far away from the coastal areas. So the temperature, the difference of the temperature, the range of the temperature is very much. Very, very interesting and very important thing which Sarah said. So just coming down to the next chapter, vegetations. Quite tricky. So where the boys and the girls they have to
see vegetation actually is, if I maintain a very scientific approach, vegetation is directly related to temperature.
Yes.
Okay, and whenever I teach them in relation to effective precipitation. Okay. Now, effective precipitation means, see, it is the balance between what comes down as rainfall and what goes up as evaporation.
True.
If this is more and this is less, it means there is more water. So if there is more water, then the vegetation must have leaves.
True.
Because the vegetation cannot afford to have too much water in them. They have to throw out the water from their body.
Exactly.
And the vegetation throws out water through leaves. So in order to do that, they must have water through leaves throughout the year. So they become evergreen. Effective precipitation is very important. Now, in other places, you will see like for here, if I just draw an India map like this, now in this part, rainfall is less, evaporation is high. Rainfall is less in Rajasthan. Evaporation is high. Okay? It means there is a dry condition. So tree cannot afford to lose water.
True.
So how can tree save water? Tree can save water by not having any leaves.
Exactly.
No leaves means no transpiration.
No transpiration.
So this is how you see trees adapt. And I am explaining this through climate.
Yes.
Okay.
The interrelation between the two chapters.
Interrelation. It is, I told you, cause and effect. If something is behaving like this, there has to be a cause.
Yes.
And the effect is you get here thorn and scrub vegetation. Here it is evergreen. This is the effect. What is the cause? Too much of rainfall.
Yeah. True.
Okay? Too much of rainfall. It is just like your water requirement is 5 glass. I forcefully make you drink 15 glass. What will happen? Every half an hour you will have to go to the washroom. Trees can't go to the washroom. The only way they can give out water is by having big leaves.
Yeah.
Big leaves means more transpiration. Okay, that is why we say broad evergreen forest here. Okay. Now, in vegetation, you will have to know the type of trees that are found in each type of vegetation. Suppose I say teak, sal, sisal and sandalwood is the common species of which vegetation type? Okay. Your answer will be tropical deciduous or tropical monsoon forest. Sometimes the council will ask you in objective, name the vegetation that survives or that thrives or that grows best in rainfall ranging between 100 to 200 centimeters. Again, same answer. Same answer, but
asked in a different way.
Here they are relating it with rainfall.
Yes.
Okay. In the previous one, I related it with the type of species.
Yes.
Sometimes they ask you about the naming. How did Sundarban got its name?
True.
The nomenclature of Sundarban is from a very indigenous local tree called Sundari. So this type of question. Now, Sundarban vegetation is called by three names. It is called tidal forest, it is called mangrove forest, it is called littoral forest. Okay? So they can ask you question by any name. You must be prepared for that. Because in the examination hall, you cannot ask the examiner, sir, what littoral means. Okay? It is the same thing called by different names.
Even they can in the council they can give the boys and girls the MCQ questions like the largest or the biggest mangrove forest in India.
Yes.
So you have to know the name Sundarban.
Yes, Sundarban, yes. And they may also ask why tropical evergreen vegetation is not much commercially exploited. Okay? Though they have very hard root. But you will find this tropical evergreen forest, they always are found on the hill slopes. Okay, like in the Western Ghats. Then tropical, here the vegetations are of a mixed species. You find one rosewood here, the next one, where is it? You don't know. Like if you come to the mountains and you look at the pine trees, they are very social trees. One pine means there will be 100 pines around. But in tropical evergreen, it's not like this. The trees are very widely scattered. It's on a rugged terrain. It rains very heavily. There are dense undergrowth. There is no transport system in this hilly terrain. So exploitation becomes very difficult. Plus the wood is very hard and heavy. Okay. But in case of tropical monsoon forest, where you have teak and sal, the forest is not so dense. Okay, and these are some of and the undergrowth is also not very dense, and tropical deciduous forests are close to the human habitation. We people have cleared much of the tropical deciduous forest to procure land for our own settlement. Okay, there are proper roads, proper communication. Okay, and the woods are also very good. Sandalwood is the most expensive wood we know. Okay, so these sort of questions they ask. You try to relate it.
So one more related chapter. Generally, why we are discussing about this? All these chapters are very much interrelated. As you said in the very past, it is climate, vegetations, and one more I think the soil.
Soil, yes. Soil.
That is also related to climate.
Soil is related to relief and climate. Yes. Because you see, soil there are two types. One is a soil which is formed at the same place, which we call residual or in situ soil. A rock breaks, decomposes and forms soil. Another is the soil gets eroded and then it is transported and then deposited somewhere else. Do you think the soil in Bangladesh, the soil in Gangetic Plain, have their origin in Gangetic Plain? No. These soils have been, the materials have been eroded from the Himalayas, from the Chotanagpur plateau, from the peninsular plateau, and then they have been carried by river and deposited there. Okay. So the quality and the nature of the soil will differ depending on how they have been formed, what is the source of their parent material. Okay, like your black soil is an in situ soil which has formed after the chemical weathering of the lava rocks, black rock, and they are very clean. Okay? So they have a moisture retentive property. So two crops grow very well there. One is cotton and another is sugarcane. Because both these crops, they hate atmospheric water. True. So the plant will take only that much water which is required by the plant from the soil. Because now when they may have, boys will study in sugarcane, that the focus of sugarcane cultivation is now shifting to South India. Because in North India there is a problem of loo, which dries the sucrose means the sugar content. Then there is a problem of flood, which dilutes the sugarcane. Okay, but in South India, the soil itself is so conducive that the plant is allowed to take as much water as it wants because the soil holds moisture. Okay. So when they do soil, one more thing is important in soil is the amount of minerals present
Okay.
and the minerals absent.
Okay.
Deficient and surplus in.
All
What are the minerals present? What are the minerals absent? This is very, because sometimes they ask, how can you improve the quality of red soil?
Okay.
Okay, they will ask you like this, how can you improve the quality of red soil? Now, if you know what are the mineral deficiency in red soil,
Okay.
you can say we can improve the quality by adding this fertilizer. Your answer is specific and correct. Most of the boys they write by applying irrigation and fertilizer. But if you name one or two chemicals which the soil is deficient in, the quality of your answer enhances. The impression of the examiner for your next answer goes up. The standard goes up. Because he will expect something like this in the next answer.
Exactly.
Your answer has to be slightly different from the rest of your friends to draw the examiner's attention. That is very important.
Sir, with just a month left, how much time should our boys and girls give for geography? Do they have to study each and every day, or you asking them to study in the alternate day for some time? And how much time they will give for the map pointing, topo map, if you can just say.
Basically, you see, map pointing, they can complete it in 4 to 5 hours. Okay, but they must have their atlas open, not the textbook. They must have the atlas open. They must have this map which I have just showed, that India map, outline map of India.
Given by the council.
Yes.
Given by the council.
Yeah, you can have that map and then you try to mark the feature which are there in your, mentioned in your syllabus, this syllabus book. Okay. Now I will ask you to have a look at the reduced syllabus for 2023. Because if you mark Ganga and you know, okay, this is Ganga, until the world exists, okay, that line remains Ganga.
True.
It is just at one point of time you have to imprint it here. If you know where is Delhi and where is Aravali, Aravali will stay there, Delhi will stay there, it will not move. It is just that you have to give your full concentration while doing the map point. At least once. After that you don't have to revise, because you know IJCRS are the 5 rivers of Indus. IJCRS, Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, IJC, Chenab, R means Ravi, S means Satluj. See, in this way you remember. The tributaries of Ganga, all Y, it starts with Y, G, 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 K, and B. Ganga, okay, Ghagra, Gomti, Gandhar, Koshi, Brahmaputra.
Wow.
See, it's like that. Down when you go to South India, the river which joins in Ganga, Chambal, Betwa, Son, Damodar.
Wow.
But these are the 4 rivers. So if you practice it once, you will never forget in life. But you have to do it with full concentration.
And the technique, as you are saying, the technique has to be there.
Yes. Okay. Especially when locating mountain ranges, cities and other features, you will have to take help of these rivers. Because you see, in West Bengal board or in any state board, I have seen they are given a blank map.
Okay.
It's a blank map of India. Now do the pointing. But at least in council, we have a map which gives with the rivers marked. Okay, so it has become very convenient to locate the features inside the map with the help of this rivers. Okay. So this is gone the map part. Then topo map. Practice it at least for 15 minutes every day, taking different aspects. Say one day I sit with drainage. Let me study different type of drainage which are there in my textbook. Open the map. what drainage pattern is this, what drainage pattern is this. 15 minutes, keep it. Because you have 1 month time, it's more than enough. Okay? Then you move into your chapters. And it is MCQ. MCQ, see, in 1 month is not enough for you to get any proper solid understanding of the subject. Go through the textbook. Go through the textbook. Your teachers may have given you notes. Respect that notes. That notes will help you to understand the textbook. Textbooks never helps you to understand the notes. Mind it. Your notes will help you to understand the textbook. And 1 month before the exam, I take it for granted that you are very thorough with your notes.
Yes.
Now read the textbook. There are many little facts that will help you to understand. You may, in your notes, there might not be the Manchester of India. Okay, but your textbook will have
Yes.
that. Okay, so these little things you will come to know. And when you read the textbook, read it like a storybook. Don't take any tension. Just read it like a storybook. You will see that the impression it will create here, the imprint will be long lasting.
True.
Because if you read it with stress and tension, nothing will stay. Okay? Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Oh yes, in soil, there is another thing that is soil erosion
All right.
and soil conservation. Okay? Now, soil erosion, they will ask you different types of soil erosion by wind or by water. And conservation also, they may ask you how to conserve, which method to use to conserve soil erosion in slopes with running water against wind. So you must know all these different methods of conservation.
Yeah.
Okay. See, if it is on the slope, your basic objective is to reduce the velocity of flowing water. This you can do either by cutting slopes or by planting strips cultivation.
All right.
So you don't let the water flow like this, but let the water flow all along the streets. Yes. The more zigzag it goes, more water seeps inside.
True.
Okay.
Very interesting fact here. So once more, I want to thank Mr. Michael Dutta, all right, for sharing all his experience. I think, my dear boys and girls, you must have gained a lot. And for further reference, Mr. Michael Dutta has helped our students in the video which you have posted in the month of November. So you can also go through it. That's a more descriptive way we have done for the topo, for the map, and for the different chapters. You can always refer to that. And what Sir is so much humble and so much generous that Sir said that now, when you have just a month left for your examination, you can contact Sir directly over the cell phone. All right, Sir is willing to give his cell phone number also. So I will request Sir if he can just share his number. He can just share his cell phone number. You can ask Sir. Sir is very helpful. Again, I am saying it to you. All right, please call Sir and feel free to call Sir. Sir will be able to help you out. All right, so Sir is sharing his number, Mr. Michael Dutta. You can write down the name. All right, this is the number of Sir. All right, so 9434380492. This is the number of Mr. Michael Dutta. You can call him at any time. All right. So thank you very much, boys and girls, for your support. I hope we are able to help you out. We'll bring more. We'll be trying to help you out in the different subjects as the time comes. Till then, goodbye and all the best for your exam. Namaskar and Jai Hind from Mr. Navarun Mandal. Thank you very much.
Thank you.